Hey, what's up, you guys? It is Monday, January 9th. I completely blanked on the date. And since it's the start of a new week and a new reading vlog, I wanted to kind of set my expectations for the week and pick my books. The first of which being finish A Million to One. I'm about a quarter of the way through, according to Goodreads. I don't even know if that's accurate, but they've just gotten aboard the Titanic. I'm invested. It's morbid in a sense, the countdown. Every time they give like an update on like how many hours or whatever, it's like to the Titanic crashing, which is like so bad. But I'm excited to see how they pull off the heist and presumably how they survive the crash. As it would be even worse if they died. The second book I have to read at least 50% of this week is This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron. This is for my book club. So our first meeting is on Saturday, so I have to get through at least 50% by then. I probably won't read past that until Sunday, just because I like to not have the full book done before the halfway meeting, so I don't have to figure out like what I can and can't talk about. And then for the last book, we had Nugget choose, which I will insert that clip now. But our 5 choices were 5 Survive by Holly Jackson, Belladonna by Adeline Grace, The Stand-In by Lily Chu, Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes, and The Honeys by Ryan LaSala, all of which I've really wanted to read and have not read. And I don't know if I'm going to actually parse out the audio. There was a point where Nugget had given up because she's really bad at this game. And I was going to accept 5 Survive as her choice because it was like the one she interacted with the most, but she didn't make like a proper selection in my opinion. Although if you disagree, let me know. Maybe she did choose 5 Survive and I wasn't respecting her decision. But once we added the treats, she chose The Stand-In by Lily Chu. So that is absolutely what I'm going to be reading this week. And then if I finish A Million to One, 50% of This Poison Heart and The Stand-In, then I will read 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. I'm not anticipating getting through 4 books this week, but we'll see. I've done it before. I don't really have anything planned other than this weekend. My uncle's in town, so I'm going to go spend Saturday with my family. And I think that's really it. I'm going to the gym again, which was perhaps a good choice, perhaps a terrible choice. I'm exhausted. I don't know if any of you go to Orange Theory, but January 9th's template killed me. And I'm in no way prepared for the Wednesday mile that I might actually skip Wednesday and go Thursday, because I'm trying to go 3 days a week. So I normally do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday because I usually have meetings on Thursdays, but I don't have one this Thursday. So I might actually switch those out because every time previously I've done the mile, I've run it and I know I can't run the mile right now. So I think I might skip it, but we'll see. And also with the Orange Theory, I'm debating if I'm doing the transformation challenge, and it seems like a good financial motivator to get me to go because I've been slacking on the gym, but do I want to commit the next 2 months to actually caring about my diet? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. I have a week to decide. So those are my plans. I'm going to try and read a little bit more of A Million to One right now while I am awake. I finished Kaleidoscope. I didn't put that in my, I finished it on Sunday. I didn't put that in my last vlog, but I watched it in orange, pink, red, orange, pink, red, violet, yellow, green, blue, white. And I'm gonna say I'm whelmed. The ending, I didn't love it, didn't hate it. It was fine. Like, there was nothing fantastic. The idea, the concept was better than the execution, but it wasn't bad. I don't know that I'll watch it again, but like, I also think I would recommend it. Like, it was okay. And if you're interested, you definitely should watch it. I do think Pink and White should be the last two that you watch, though. Pink, watching that as early as I did, I think was not great. So yeah, there's nothing else vital that I need to do this week. There's nothing else I'm catching up on, so it's pretty much just all reading. Those are like all my plans, I think. I don't know. We'll find out when I all of a sudden get a call about why I'm not doing something. Okay, I will talk to you guys later. Bye. I just got back from Target at like 9 o'clock at night because I was doom scrolling TikTok instead of reading my stack of books, plus an audiobook I started, which is none of these, which, okay. I mean, it's the stand-in, This Poison Heart, and I'm not actually reading 5 Survive, it's just over here. But yeah, instead of reading or listening to my audiobook, I went to Target because I was doom scrolling and someone was like, oh, Disney Doorables, Series 9. And I was like, I don't need this. I don't need trinkets. I mean, I do, right? But like, I don't need them. And this doesn't have the pictures, but there's a really cute Minnie Mouse. And I was like, well, now I need it. There's also a really cute Minnie Mouse Valentine Squishmallow that I'm trying really hard not to buy because I don't need it. But I'm suddenly in this like collectibles phase. So anyway, so I thought I would open them since I have been negligent on my reading. I barely read yesterday. It's a rough day. So I've started all my books. Okay, so I think if you get like the expensive ones, they have this whole little like contraption and you don't know how many you're gonna get, and like it's really cool. I had the option of individuals for Series 9, which is the one that I was after, or like a $40 box. I don't even know what series it was, but it wasn't 9. Not that I wanted to buy a $40 box, but there's that, and then there was like some that I didn't like the look of at all. But they were all, these were like $3, so these were affordable. Oh, there is more than one in here. Okay. I mean, they're tiny, but I didn't even think there was more than one. But, okay. What I wanted, so I'm sure I won't get it because I went to the far away Target. But like specifically, I wanted, what's the light doing? I'm not gonna be able to get this to focus because it's my phone. But the Minnie Mouse from the 20s. But there's a lot of Minnie Mice. I mean, there's a lot in general. Oh God, and there's more. There's more on the back. If I don't get Minnie Mouse, I don't foresee me buying a ton more of these boxes. I just wanted to try. Oh, 37. Okay, are these all numbered? Oh, not that it matters because I can't see the numbers before I get them. Here, you want to eat some plastic? Rue, right? Rue from Winnie the Pooh. Those eyes are kind of wild. I don't know where I'm going to put any of these that I actually end up liking. And I'm moving in like 2 months. Why am I getting trinkets? What's her name? Sally? Carr? I've seen the movie. Oh goodness. Okay. Just throwing everything on the floor. Okay, so that was 44 and 37, 41 and 25. So at least they're not dupes. Oh, hey, Nug. This thing. That was really helpful. My hand's in the way. I don't know what this is. Does anyone know? Does it tell me their names? Oh, they do. I don't think that's Lumpy. Oh, okay, I was right. That was Sally. It's Finnick from Zootopia. I love Zootopia. Who is Finnick? Okay. I apparently don't love it enough. Is this another card? Again, another one I don't recognize. Dorothea. Oh! I don't think I remembered that was her name. Dorothea from Soul. That is such a good movie. Okay, I would not be mad if I got more from that, from Soul. Okay, I already lied. I might get more of these. These are pretty cute. 2 and 31. So no duplicates, if I'm understanding this correctly. Oh, Luca or Alberto, right? Yeah, Alberto from Luca though. And not Minnie Mouse. Okay. These are really cute though. It's from Mulan. It's, oh, don't rip that. I'm trying to look at this. It's Soldier. Just generic Soldier. Okay. Well, it wasn't Minnie Mouse, but I might get more. Those are pretty cute. I have no clue what I'll do with them, where I'm gonna store them. But like, I want that Minnie Mouse. And like, look at these from Soul. Look how cute they are. I can't see what I'm doing. But like, they're so cute. I'm not gonna lie, of all the ones I could have gotten from Zootopia though, I got the one I didn't recognize, and I could have had Dawn Bellwether. She might have been a villain, but she was really cute. I just can't believe there's 6 Minnie Mouse and I got none. Oh my god, okay, but look at Winnie the Pooh. How cute is that? It's a good thing that I don't have these at my Target. I would be broke. Hello, it's Thursday, and I realized that I finished 1,000,000 to 1 on Monday and never talked about it. Partially because Tuesday was just not a great day, so I got nothing done. I think I read maybe like 10 pages of another book. But, hello Peanut. Do you want to come up here? I moved the desk so it's harder for you. But 1,000,000 to 1, I was so excited for this book. It almost was impossible to live up to my expectation, which is unfortunate because it's a really good premise, but it was like just like a solid 3-star. Like, it's a good book, but I was fully expecting it to be like a 5-star read, and it was just okay. And I think I don't like heist stories. This is now the 3rd heist that I have interacted with and have just been whelmed, which I think is what I said about Kaleidoscope. There's something about it. I hated 6 of Crows, or I didn't finish it. I shouldn't say I hated it. It just wasn't for me. Kaleidoscope was very meh. And then this was, thank you. Okay. And then this was just okay. I loved that it was sapphic, and I loved the friendships, but it was somehow almost too short, but at the same time too, not too long. There was an element missing that I didn't like. I actually wish this was an adult novel. I think that's my problem. The fact that it's a YA just left something to be desired for me. But the ending was probably my favorite part, even though on Goodreads I say I reject it. That's because it was good. It felt realistic enough. I liked trying not to give spoilers. Okay. It was a well done ending. And the fact that there are aspects of it that I didn't like is exactly why I liked it. If that makes any sense. But I do think it suffered from being a YA story instead of an adult story. And I can't pinpoint why, but the fact that they were like 18, if that, I think is what drew me away from it. There is a heist story I like, and it's Ocean's 8, and that's 60% because of Sandra Bullock. And so I think the comparison to this being Ocean's 8 on the Titanic, both of those, from a movie standpoint, are both adult stories. So I think I was expecting a little bit more high crime, whereas this was like shenanigans. And their success level was a little too high. Like, things were a little too easy. And I felt like the matron character was not necessary. From a realistic standpoint, yes, I get why she would have inserted herself into the girl's business. And that part made sense. But then it was like they still had a lot of free reign when I felt like the matron was implied that she was going to be watching over them. And then it kind of like she wasn't, unless we needed her to be in the way. And things kind of felt a little bit underdeveloped for me. Like, who was it? Emily that lost her hairpin. That kind of was only there to set up a later kerfluffle. That it was a bit like we could have gotten there in a different way, or this hair clip could have felt more important prior to her losing it. But there was just something missing, and I think some of it was because it was a little bit too short and a little bit too young, that I don't think it could get quite as dark as I think it needed to be. But that being said, I did enjoy it, and I would recommend it if you're interested in it. I do think it lives up to being a sapphic Ocean's 8 on the Titanic. I do think all of those comparisons are, the Titanic is a literal, they are literally on the Titanic. But I do think it's a good story. And if you've read from this author before, I think you will know what to expect with her writing. I do think this was her YA debut. I think she has done primarily middle grade previously. Not 100% on that. I know she has done middle grade. I'm not sure if she's only done middle grade. Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating. I really wanted to read it. That one might also be YA. Or is that middle grade? Okay, that is YA. So she has written YA before. So absolutely, if you've read her before, then you would know. So that was my Monday. Tuesday, I read nothing except for like 14 pages of The Stand-In by Lily Chu, which I am enjoying. I think those 14 pages were really cute, and I'm actually quite excited to see where that's gonna go. And then yesterday, I started This Poison Heart, which I've read about one chapter of, and I'm also very much enjoying. I'm less confident now that I will finish half of it before my book club meeting Saturday night, but we will see. But it's really good. I've heard mixed reviews about Cinderella is Dead, so I was hesitant, even though I still want to read that. I was hesitant that This Poison Heart was going to be potentially bad too. I bought it, like I was obviously still interested in reading it, but like everyone's like, oh, this Cinderella's Dead's not great. So then I was like, well, maybe this one's going to be not great, and I've already bought it, and I was like kind of iffy, but I'm already enjoying it, so that's a good sign. But Saturday, we're having a family get together. I don't know what time we're getting together, so that's going to cut into my ability to finish reading. And then, on a whim, I borrowed, okay, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this, and I'm sorry in advance, but It's a Rick Riordan Presents Serwa, I want to say Boateng's, but I'm confident that it's incorrect, Guide to Vampire Hunting, which is it's based on Ghana mythology. Ganon? That doesn't sound right. Mythology from Ghana. And she is, I think she's about 13. I listened to the first 3 chapters. It's really cute and I'm enjoying it. And I did that because I wanted an audiobook. So I've got 2 physical books and an audiobook going. And then I just borrowed The Hating Game, just like because I'm apparently dedicated to January getting rid of my TBR. Like, I mean, I can, like, look at it. It's not as big as many, but like there's a lot. Not gonna finish them all in January. That is humanly impossible. And yeah, so I actually had an arc of this. That is how behind I am. I had this as an arc and I just borrowed it from the library. So yeah, so that is my current update. And now that it is 11 o'clock, I need to go back to work. Hello, it's Saturday night and I've gotten almost no reading done since the last time we spoke. I swear anytime I try and not force myself to read, but like make this sweeping statement that I'm going to read something specific, I struggle so hard. Also, do we enjoy the computer reflection? Can we move that a little bit? Maybe. Done. Of course, now what? TV? Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about what I've been reading. I made a little bit of progress on Serwa Boateng's, I think that's a little bit better than the first time, Guide to Hunting Vampires or Slaying Vampires. It's an audiobook. I don't have the title in front of me. I'm about a quarter of the way through now. Now it's really kind of picking up. I thought it had a bit of saying it had a slow start feels disingenuous because it does start off with action, but I didn't care a lot about that action. I care now. And it's getting pretty interesting. She has to go to a regular school while her parents go off and fight demons, and I think that's a really interesting kind of twist. In a way, it's kind of the opposite of Percy Jackson in that she's grown up knowing that she's different and why she's different. And now she has to adjust to the real world versus Percy growing up in the real world and finding out that he's different. So, not that she's part of the Percy Jackson universe, just that they're both under the Rick Riordan imprint. Is it an imprint? I'm calling it that. But that's literally most of what I've read since we last talked, except Tuesday night, I had a bit of an emotional moment and I bought 5 books. So, but the fun part about that is I got lost in the moment and found, which is why I haven't read anything because I am about halfway through that now. I normally finish these really fast, but I got a new video game. It's called Traveler's Rest. It's on early access on Steam. And it is just a cozy little, like, you're running a tavern, which later you can add like hotel rooms to, and you do some farming. It's just cozy and warm, and it was just everything I wanted. So instead of reading, I've been playing that and trying to finish this. I am loving this one more than book 6, which so far has been my least favorite. Like Among the Green Grass Fields or whatever, the horse one, which again, I don't think was bad. It's just not my taste. And a lot of people didn't really like 7 with the other school. I really liked that one too. I appreciate why people didn't like it, but it really worked for me. And this one, I'm loving it so far. I don't know if we know Ansi from a previous story. I have not reread any of them yet. For a minute, I thought she might have been the girl with no name at the other school, but I feel like her door did not lead to the Lost and Found store. So I'm thinking she's entirely unique to this story, but I'm liking her. I really hope we get to see her again if she is not already been introduced and I just forgot, which would be some kind of funny with the whole Lost and Found thing. So that was the first book that I got. And then speaking of Percy Jackson, I finally own a copy. I absolutely love these new covers, so I'm trying to get the whole set, but I'm getting them one at a time because I'm pretending like I have self-control, but as we can see, it just takes one emotional breakdown, I guess, to bypass that. Then I got Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson because one of my friends in my book club really wants to read it. And the biggest reason we haven't is because I don't own it. So I finally just caved and got it. I'm hoping it's good because I thought the series was done, but then like book 5 just came out. So what's the haps there? 5 Survive is not new. It's just in the stack. I finally caved and got the Mythos by Stephen Fry just because I really enjoy Greek mythology. And I'm obsessed with Echo's story ever since Echo appeared in one of the Hero of Olympus stories. I forget where it was, but they like mentioned Echo briefly and I just really wanted to learn more. And I've just needed an excuse to buy a mythology book. So I finally caved and I got this one. And I mean, first of all, it's a beautiful cover. Just appreciate that again. But then, like, it's more of a coffee table book. But I mean, it does have some nice artwork in it, which really kind of lends itself more to the coffee table book, but alas. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, this one I've already read, as with Percy Jackson, but I couldn't not buy this. I was just talking about this earlier this week or in another video, I don't remember, but I loved this book so much. And I had it on audio and I really liked it, but this whole like purple pink gradient, I couldn't not, like, I love this cover. I could have waited till it was in paperback, but I'm a bit of a hardback bitch. Reading in paperback honestly is better, but I like the look of hardcovers. And then, because I've read nothing else, my book club is in 10 minutes and we are supposed to have been halfway through This Poison Heart. I have read 1 chapter, but I like this 1 chapter, so I'm hoping other people have read it so that I'm not like a jerk for having not finished any of it yet. But I don't foresee me finishing 14 chapters in the next 10 minutes, so I'm not even gonna try. But I might put on Serwa Boateng's Guide to Hunting Vampires and keep playing my game, because that sounds kind of like the perfect cozy night. And I have this giant cozy sweatshirt blanket situation, so I think I'm just gonna get heckin' cozy. I just spent the last like 5 hours with my family and we were playing the game Blank Slate, which if you have not played with your family, I highly recommend it, particularly if your family has one black sheep who insists on turning everything dirty or chaotic, because then it's all just like, it's just mass chaos. And we may or may not have gotten my grandma to answer hand job. So that was my evening. It was hilarious. And now I'm gonna have some snacks and relax. Hi, it's Sunday and I wasn't planning to do any updates today. But I've been, wait a minute. Yeah, I have no idea what that shiny looks like. Okay. I finished Lost in the Moment and Found last night, and I made a lot of progress on Serwa Boateng's Guide to Hunting Vampires. So I thought I would just pop in with a little end of week update looking like a full on just cozy mess. This is my giant sweatshirt blanket and I'm obsessed. But Lost in the Moment and Found was amazing. Possibly my favorite of the series. Like, I forget genuinely which one was my favorite before this. This one is incredibly dark. Darker, I feel, than most of the others have been. And it was just beautifully told. We're following Ancy as she runs away from home because her stepfather is not a good man. And she ends up essentially in the place where all lost things go, which is more or less a store. But what's interesting about this store is that there are a ton of doors there. Compared to every world we have seen before, the place where lost things go has multiple doors showing up every day. And they use these doors to go and explore these other worlds and go to their markets and experience their culture. And then at the same time, people can access this place to find their lost things, and they have the ability to go home. Whereas Ansi does not. She is not able to find her door again. And the plot twist at the probably 75% mark blew me away. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that. Like, I knew something was wrong, but that wasn't the wrongness I was expecting. And it hurt so much to see Ansi grow up the way that she did from the real world to the lost world. And I loved how it ended. I mean, from a narrative perspective, obviously it was really sad, but it was really good. And I know we're getting at least 2 more books. I could read this series forever, but I genuinely hope we get to see Ansi again. Like, I genuinely hope this is not the last that we see of her. Why am I so yawning? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna cry now. And now I am probably gonna finish Serwa Boateng's Guide to Hunting Vampires today. I am at about 69%. I'm using it as something to listen to while I hunt shiny Pokemon and avoid editing this video, which is why I'm making an update, because I haven't even started editing yet. So we're doing that. And I found 3 shiny Pokemon this morning because one of which was a genuine shock. I found Igglybuff, which is it's not a rare shiny, it's a hard to see shiny. And then I found a Hoppip, which I didn't need, and I found a male shiny Combee. And I'm debating because I have a Combee outbreak, and I'm like, do I want to go back and find the female? I'm gonna have to at some point, but is today that day? But what's going on with Serwa, which I apologize, I don't know that I'm saying any of this correctly. I'm trying my best, and I have the audiobook, so you think that'd make me better. I don't know that it is, but I'm trying. Her story has gotten so interesting that I decided, oh, let's look up when the sequel is coming out, because I assume it's this year or soon. Found a massive spoiler about how this book ends. And what kills me is that because it's middle grade and it's like a Rick Riordan imprint, I thought I had it. Like, I thought I knew. Like, it's not a big deal if I look up the second book. I have a general idea of how this book is going to end. Follows tropes, it's middle grade, there's a lot you can infer. And all of what I'm thinking might be right. That all may also happen. There's a plot twist coming, didn't see it. And now I'm mad that I didn't see it, because now I won't get to be surprised because I learned what it is. And it's a good one. It is a good twist, and I'm excited about it. And that twist is also making me want to finish the book. And then once I finish that, I'm gonna actually try and read the books I plan to read this week, because everything I finished this week, not on the list. So that's all next week. Isn't that right, kitten? I am almost sweating because this blanket is really hot, and then I've got a blanket on my legs, and I've got a cat on the blanket. There's a lot of, for how cold my apartment actually is, it is really hot right here. But since we're supposed to be talking about Serwa, there is some really amazing cultural commentary that I'm enjoying for its reality. Like, obviously it's awful that it is reality, but I like that we're not shying away from it. And there's been some really intelligent points of just because things make us uncomfortable doesn't mean that we have to avoid them because essentially growth comes from discomfort. And there's a lot of little lessons in there that I'm really enjoying. And I think this is, I've only read, it is not. Okay. This is the only Rick Riordan imprint that I've read. Because Winnie Zhang Unleashes a Legend, which was also fantastic, is not from his imprint. And then I have Tristan Hole Punches a Hole in the Sky, but I haven't read it yet. So I don't know where I was going with that sentence. But when I tell you, when Serwa contacted her parents to say, hey, things aren't right and I need your help, and they cut her off, I understand why, and I know they weren't doing it to be mean. And also, like, narratively speaking, she had to be on her own. Like, I get that. And I think they've done a really good job at setting up why Serwa and her friends have to be doing what they're doing. Like, the setup all makes sense and it's good. But when I tell you that my heart shattered when her parents did that because they were so good prior to that, I am so scared for what their future is, especially because Serwa saying that her cousin's apartment was finally like home to her. I am so worried for her parents because they can't contact anyone. They can't contact Serwa, and her home isn't her home anymore. Like, now she has a new home. It's gonna hurt me. And I actually truly was enjoying this, but wasn't really planning to continue the series. But now that I know the twist and my concern for her parents, I may continue the series. Not that I need any more series on my list, because I have so many unfinished series. I don't, like, that's probably the worst thing about getting into BookTube, is that, and the pandemic as well, I started so many series and I am behind on all of them, except for like 2. Anyway, that's all for me for this week. Probably, maybe, we'll see. I don't think I'm gonna come back with another update. I think if I finish Serwa, I will probably talk about that next week. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.